College Sportsplex in Windsor, Ontario, the site of the gold medal match between the St. Clair College Saints and the Niagara Knights in OCAA men's volleyball action here on WE TV. Hello everybody, my name is Dominic Papa. Joining me, the coach, our analyst, Chris Brecka. Chris, tickets were $8 at the door. I heard they're scalping them for $40 a pop outside. They're still coming in here. We're going to have close to 2,000 fans in this building. It's going to be very loud.
I think so. You know, the last two nights the energy's been crazy here, so I'm sure that's going to be the same story tonight.
It's the hottest ticket in town, no question about it. The tournament's all coming to an end here. Congratulations to the Mohawk Mountaineers. They claimed the bronze medal earlier today. The gold and silver medals on the line here tonight. Both these teams will be going to the Nationals. They have met twice during the regular season, splitting those games, winning it at their home buildings. Does home court advantage give St. Clair the edge here, Chris?
Well, the last time they played here at home, I don't think we had nearly this many fans. So yes, I definitely think that's going to be an advantage to our boys, the hometown boys, the support that they have. So yeah, I think it's going to be great.
Yeah, Coach Rob Lynch commented on the first two games they played here where it felt like they had a seventh man on the court there. That could be huge as this game goes on.
For sure.
Obviously, there's a lot of bumps and bruises, a lot of wear and tear, but I would imagine the adrenaline is going to put that all to rest, Chris.
I think so. And the fact that both these teams have already qualified for nationals, it kind of takes the pressure off that a little bit. But, our boys, they don't want to give this up. They want the chance at that title here, and the same thing with Niagara. They're not going to go down without fighting, so it's going to be interesting.
I don't think either team wants to go through that proverbial back door. They want to go in as champions for sure when they head out to Prince Edward Island. Is there anything that's different between these two teams, Chris, that could be an edge for either side?
The Niagara boys, their libero's a really good digger. But I think across the board, we've got maybe a couple more players that can keep the ball in play. But as far as firepower goes, Steve Stone does a great job of balancing his offense. He's got a lot of options, and he uses them. John Mark for St. Clair, he's doing the same kind of thing. He's got a lot of guns that he can go to. And they've just been really consistent all year, and I think they're going to use that to their advantage.
Of course, St. Clair also has the league MVP this year, Jason Hernandez.
Yes, and very decorated fella.
Coaches, as you know, you're a coach. Your star players have to be star players in these kind of games.
Yes, and you know what? I think Jason is ready to step up. He's pretty pumped for this match, so I think he's gonna do well.
We'll check in with you throughout the evening, Coach
Alrighty.
Brecka. Thanks for that. We're going to go over to our public address announcer, Sean Lippert, and he's going to get the festivities going here. It's the OCAA men's gold medal game here on WE TV.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to St. Clair College in Windsor, Ontario at your brand new Sportsplex for the OCAA gold medal match. Featuring the Niagara Knights and your St. Clair Saints. The Ontario College and Athletics Association and St. Clair College Athletic Department maintain the OCAA fan code of conduct to a high standard. Please respect the players, coaches, officials, and the facility at all times. Also, air horns and whistles are prohibited within the facility. Inappropriate behavior or language could result in removal from the match. Please do not directly address players, fans, or officials throughout this game. The OCAA believes in fair play and respect. Show it, feel it, play it, know it. Ladies and gentlemen, the Niagara Knights. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you this St. Clair College. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise and kindly remove your caps as we have first-year music theater performance student Jessica Wilson sing our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all our sons' command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Nice job, bud.
Thank you.
Awesome anthem, guys. Nice job.
Well, welcome everyone. We have Neil McTavish here, my color commentator, Dave Austin doing the play-by-play. We have a spectacular venue, Neil. We have a spectacular crowd, and we're anticipating some spectacular volleyball for this gold medal match tonight between the St. Clair College Saints and the Niagara Knights.
Dave, the place is simply electric. I can imagine adrenaline flowing through both of these teams. And I guess my question about this game is, will they be able to contain it, keep the ball in, stay under control? Advantage with the home court has to go to the Knights. Or excuse me, has to go to the Saints.
Well, certainly that will be a factor, I think, Neil. It's always easy to overhit and overplay when the adrenaline is running like this for these young athletes. And these two teams know each other well. They've met twice during the regular season, split both matches. And we're looking forward to some great volleyball tonight. In the estimation of most experts, these two teams have played the best volleyball of everybody here, and they deserve to be here. So we get ready to go. Number 4, the setter for the Niagara Knights. Steve Stone back to serve, and the crowd ramps up the noise.
They got those flappers, Dave.
Good serve, handled easily by the Saints. Hernandez is blocked, and it falls. Aaron Vanderloot, the big middle hitter, 5th year out of Burlington, Ontario, with the block. Want to give a warm welcome to any of the fans who may be tuning in from the Niagara area, fans of the Knights. We hope you enjoy this broadcast as much as we enjoy bringing it to you. Into the middle of the net, the crowd erupts. And that's just a taste of what we're going to expect tonight. The seventh man, so to speak, in this tournament for the hometown Saints has been the huge and enthusiastic crowds that have attended these games.
Volleyball usually being a quiet sport, I don't think we're going to see that tonight.
Vanderloo with the smart cross-court hit silences the crowd. 2-1 Knights.
Yeah, they didn't have a block up there on them.
Great to see so many people in the volleyball community here in Windsor in the crowd tonight, Neil, supporting the Saints. They are guaranteed their first ever OCAA medal, and they hope to make it gold. Tip, Josh Rankin, hit out by Jason Hernandez. One of the leading, in fact, the second leading scorer in the OCAA this year, and named at the awards banquet a couple of mornings ago as the league's most valuable player for 2014-2015. Well deserved.
When he's out there, he just seems to pick up the whole level of the game, and his team especially.
Number 7, Jeff Scott with a hard serve, and that's Peter Christian out of the middle with the quick arm. 2-3. Saints trail by 1. We're talking about people in the volleyball community here, Neil. Great to see many members of the Senior Volleyball League who use this facility for their league play every Monday and Thursday up in the stands. And want to give a special shout out to the league president, John Preer, who's enjoying the warm weather down in Florida as we speak on vacation, and knowing that John is tuning in and watching us here on WeTV.
Naples, Florida, and I guess it's raining tonight, so he didn't go out.
Well, I'm not going to feel that sorry for him, Neil. Good serve, float serve, Cole Jordan. Block. Free ball given up by the Saints. Cole Jordan picks it up. Pipe shot. Jeff Scott in. Linesman Pat Patterson snaps the flag down, and it's 4-3 Knights as these two teams feel each other out at the beginning of the match.
That's exactly what it looks like. Just seeing who's going to block who, how they're going to set up, making sure the serves go over.
Josh Rankin. Wow, big hit by Jason Hernandez. He fixes that set by Jean-Marc Lebrun.
It struck me that he took a little bit off that. I'm wondering, he's got himself under control, realizing, okay, I need to put it in hard. And a nice serve.
One of the great things about this simulcast, Neil, I have another very close friend, Mr. Michael Brandreth, enjoying the Florida weather at the moment down in the Treasure Island area. I'm sure that he is tuning in tonight to this exciting OCAA finals action. Hello to you, Michael, and your lovely wife, Barb. Adam Polfis, right side hitter for Niagara. Great serve, puts the Saints back in their heels. They're forced to give up a free ball. Cole Jordan in. Very controlled hit. He looks good to start this match. He's a freshman outside hitter from London, Ontario, and he's had a very fine tournament. He's playing like a veteran, Neil.
Came up, found that empty spot in the center of the court, put it down hard.
6-4 Knights, handled by Manik Jandoria. Hernandez on the back row with a heavy hit, but it's dug up by the Knights, and they've played really good defense this whole tournament. Out here to Connor West, that's in the middle of the net. And the Saints do need to get Connor West off on a good footing. He's key to their attack.
From Lethbridge, Alberta. A couple hours earlier there. Probably a few degrees colder.
We hope many people in Lethbridge are tuning in as well. Connor's parents are here in person enjoying their stay in Windsor. That ball is called in by Mark Eckert, linesman, all local linesmen. Timeout Saints. Coach Rob Lynch doesn't like what he sees at the start of this match. It's 8-4 Knights. We are watching OCAA finals action on WeTV.
It's not just about hockey. It's about getting a great education too.
Academics are equally, if not more important than athletics. The Hockey Canada Skills Academy is a great opportunity for any student athlete to live their dream and chase their passion. It gives them an opportunity to get a workout in the morning. They're physically and mentally engaged, and it helps them as a student as well throughout the day. Our program is not just for the elite athletes, it's for everyone.
Hi, I'm Ed Jovanovski. Watch us on WeTV. We got you covered.
There are many local fans, Neil, who may not be able to make it personally here tonight. I know good friends of mine, Laura Parent and Chuck Copeland, are watching on WeTV. We thank them for watching, and hello to all of our friends, family, and acquaintances here in the Windsor area who are tuning in to WeTV.
Chuck's probably pretty emotional about this game. He's an emotional kind of guy.
Adam Polfitz with the float serve. That ball's off. Touch called. Looked like it was out, but obviously touched by the block. Travis Weigel warming up to the action. Travis
Came up with his touch signal quite quickly. He saw it happen. Glad the lines person picked it up as well.
Number 2, Connor West. No, that's a held ball. Jeff Scott smiles in embarrassment. That was dirty.
Yep, you just you can't let it sit on your hand, especially after a serve.
Connor West always takes his time, calms himself at the serving line. Again, he goes after Jeff Scott. Outside to Cole Jordan. Nice smooth hit. He, for a freshman, exhibits the calmness of a 5-year veteran. Never seems to be flustered. Fine young player out of London, Ontario. Here he is with the serve. Connor West handles it. Good pass to Jean-Marc Lepin. Manik Jandori is blocked. Logan Vargas, Steve Stone, the fine setter for the Knights, in together on that double block. Hard to tell who got most of it.
Right now the Knights are carrying the play. I think St. Clair is just a little nervous.
Yes, they look a little more composed than the Saints. The Saints aren't passing it well, and that costs them another point right there. Might be nerves, Neil. One of the things I think Coach Lynch has to guard against is this is assured that the Saints get their first ever men's volleyball medal in the school's history, and I am sure that he's reminding the players that they don't want to be settling for silver. They want gold. Make this first one a very special one. Free ball given up by the Knights. Lepin to the middle. Weigel wipes the block of Logan Varga. 11-7 Niagara.
And you really can't say that one team is better than the other, as they both had identical records during the regular season, both winning in their own buildings. Hopefully that's a sign of things to come.
Yes, we should be in for a close match tonight. Jeff Scott hits it in the middle of the net. Yes, the Western Conference was a tough volleyball conference this year. After the Mohawk Mountaineers at 17-1 in first place, the next 4 teams were either 13-5 or 12-6. Great depth. Even 6th place Sheridan was 11-7. That is out. And the Saints put up a 3-point run. 9 serving 11. I don't know if Coach Nathan Grenveld of the Knights agreed with it.
No, he didn't like that, and it was pretty close, but that's why the linesmen are there.
They generally have the best view in the house, don't they, Neil?
Yes, they do. He's staring right down the line. You see if that ball sits on the line or not.
Missed serve by Travis Weigel. Serve goes back to number 11, Logan Varga. Middle hitter out of Brantford, Ontario. He misses.
Both teams a little shaky.
Well, it's to be expected. It's a big moment for all these young athletes and a big crowd to play in front of. And
oh, yes.
I don't know if any of them ever played in front of a crowd this size or this boisterous. Is that a 10-point word, boisterous?
Not on my Scrabble board.
No.
Put something with a Q or an X.
Out of bounds.
Boy, and he had that whole court to look at. He hit it straight down, out of bounds.
Jeff Scott has been the go-to guy for the Knights setter Steve Sloan, but he's gotten off to a bit of a shaky start. He looks like he's having trouble controlling that adrenaline. Jean-Marc Lepin with the serve. That's in. Aaron Vanderloot, the fifth-year veteran, is showing no such nerves. Coach Grenville talks to Mr. Scott, tries to settle him down a little bit.
They're getting those hits out of the middle. That has to come to an end if St. Clair wants to be successful here.
Well, Steve Stone is one of the best setters in the conference at moving that ball around, Neil. Very hard to read his sets. Blocked. Jason Hernandez with the tip attempt. Vanek Jandoria uses the block for the point.
Picked that ball up off the net and made use of it.
Now as we reach the halfway point in this first set, there's only 1 point in it.
Well, Coach wants the photographer out of the way there. Felt he interfered with making the play.
Coach Grenville into every aspect of the match, but you know, that little delay tactic of his might have caused that missed serve.
Yeah, you get some momentum going and then you have to stop. However, in his defense, the camera guy was right there when they had a legal ball to pick up.
Yep, and he's totally right. Good receive a serve there. Connor West. Wow, good to see that right arm get warmed up and the crowd erupts.
I think that ball landed in downtown Lethbridge.
On the first bounce.
We'll have to repair that floor later for the crack he put in it.
Peter Christian, who's really come on strong in the latter part of the season for the Saints, elicits a free ball off that tough serve. Hernandez, cross court, Steve Stone. Might have been out, committed to it, couldn't control the dig, and we are tied at 14. The jousting is over, Neil.
Yes, I think it is.
Christian with the serve, goes cross court at the libero.
With with Hernandez and West hitting those balls from the outsides, they sure do pack a lot of punch.
Roll hit. Christian on the cover, up the middle. Jandoria can hit it. Stone is forced to pick it up. Bailey Cochran, the libero, with the set, and that's blocked. Travis Weigel and Connor West, and momentum may be shifting just a little bit, Neil.
You know, I think a young lady just jumped off her couch in Kitchener, Ontario, is her friend Travis Weigel from Kingsville, Ontario. Emily, I think that one was for you.
Cole Jordan is picked up, over to Jason. Steve Stone forced to play defense again. Bailey Cochran to find libero with the set. Connor West right there to pick it up. No, there was nothing happening there. That was too easy to read.
Yeah, it was that set was in the air too long. Just barely over the tape.
15 serving 15 as Aaron Vanderloot out of Burlington, Ontario goes back to serve for the Knights. Handled easily by the Saints. Connor West, no, tried to get a little too cute with that one.
Just a little rust. We're up to 16 points there. I think we'll start seeing some really good play coming up here.
I'm sure Coach Rob Lynch in his 6th year for St. Clair would rather see Connor swing hard at those.
He also likes seeing the other team hit the ball into the net.
Yep, and he got his wish right there.
He's got a big smile on his face.
Big congratulations to Rob Neal. He's done a fine job, and he's brought this team right to the pinnacle now of OCAA volleyball. They're right on the verge of it.
Jason Hernandez returns the gift of hitting the ball out of bounds.
Nerves showing a little bit.
Yeah,
Adam Holfus, number 2, right side hitter. 6'1" out of Kitchener, Ontario in his 3rd year. Left-handed serve, handled by Jandoria. Connor West, that's better. Good to see him swing. Great pass, though. Cole Jordan off the block. Hernandez handles it. Pipe shot. Jandoria long and wide. That set might have been a touch too low as well, but Manick's got to adjust to that. He's got to take a little off.
Yes. He took off from way behind the tack line. Hit it as hard as he could, but it floated it. He hit it hard, but it floated right out of bounds.
Olfus to serve again. As the crowd noise may have been a factor there. It just seemed to build to a crescendo as he was about to serve. Hard to concentrate in here tonight.
The ball's floating. It must be something with the heat at court level, forcing the, you're a geography major, Dave. You know all about the.
Well, you're going to have to give me a physics lesson on that one.
Oh, no.
Connor West into the middle of the net. And that takes some of the error out of this room.
2-point lead for the guests.
19-17, it's go time now. Knights in the lead. Cole Jordan back to serve. That's long. A lot of serving jitters on display here.
It's about 7 serves combined between the two teams that have either been in the net or out of bounds. Maybe more than 7.
Unforced errors. Of course, you want your team to serve tough, but I think the coaches are hoping for a few more in the court. Big block by the Saints, Jandoria and Christian. Manic Jandoria forced into the starting role here during this tournament as Dave Binder, the fine left side hitter for the Saints, broke his finger in the last practice before this tournament. An unfortunate turn of events for the Saints, but as always, the good teams always have someone on the bench to step up. That is out. Saints in front. 2019. 3 quick points. We said it was go time, and it sounds like, it looks like the Saints were listening.
Kingsville's Travis Weigel.
Really improved his serving during this tournament. Oh! Logan Varga with the tip attempt into the net, and Coach Renveld says enough, calls a timeout, and the Saints lead 21-19. Well, Neil, the crowd, as we anticipated, seems to be a factor.
Yes, it does.
We look at the St. Clair bench. Coach Lynch, quite animated. A little more hop to their step over there as they've nosed out in front by 2. Griff out in the middle of the floor there with the cheer team dancing.
What do you call that? What do you call that dance, Dave? Is that like the Griff shuffle? Oh,
it's like the St. Bernard squat.
we don't want to see that.
The cheerleaders on display here tonight for the crowd. Large appreciative crowd here. We've had 3 large crowds 3 nights in a row. The Saints did what they wanted to do. They've been in the feature game 8 o'clock each night, exactly like the administrators here at St. Clair planned it. And that's brought in big crowds, enthusiastic crowds, and it's just made this atmosphere electric each and every evening.
I think the players had something to do with tonight's 8 o'clock game.
Yes, they've earned their spot here, no doubt about it. Played some inspired volleyball against the Durham Lords and the Humber Hawks in succession. Niagara, full value as well. The Knights getting here by defeating the number 1 seed in the tournament, the Mohawk Mountaineers, in a 5-set marathon on the first day, and then they followed it up with a semifinal victory over the Fanshawe Falcons. So both teams well deserving of their spot here. Another tough serve by Weigel. The dump attempt by Stone, and it's recovered by the Saints.
What a great play.
They have to give up a free ball. Scott's hit is blocked. Here we go. Can the Saints take advantage? No. Logan Varga with the block.
That was incredible alertness there on St. Clair's part. They were ready for they weren't ready for the little dunk shot there, but they got to it, popped it up. Unfortunately, it didn't result in a point.
Advantage Saints. Number 5, Dan Mirwich in from Brampton, Ontario. First-year player with the serve. Tough spot for a first-year player. Joust at the net. LaPlan gets it over.
Free ball.
Free ball from Stone. Jandoria. Free ball given up again. Can the Saints take advantage?
Those free balls will come to bite you.
Good blocking pattern here for the Knights. And Scott makes the Saints pay. He silences the crowd with a cross-court bullet.
Oh, each coach has 1 timeout remaining.
21-21. Crowd, crescendo builds again. Doesn't affect the server. Hernandez, been very quiet this match, actually. Miscommunication there. Miscommunication by the Saints. Connor West recovers, sends a high ball, handled by Polfus. Wow, what a great cross-court hit by Jeff Scott. Intelligent hit there from a very, very acute angle. Timeout, Saints. You're watching OCAA gold medal action on WeTV. Well, a testament to the quality of this match, Neil. Just as the Saints jumped out to an emotional 2-point lead, the Knights respond with 3 quick points of their own.
I definitely think we're seeing a little jitters here, Dave.
On both sides, and the tide has been ebbing and flowing on both sides of the net, that's for sure. 22-21 Knights. They have the serve. Saints have to get a good first attack out of this one.
Yeah, it's key. Good pass here and then work your play. I'm sure Coach Lynch diagrammed something out for them to try and run after this serve.
Josh Rankin with the pass. Dandoria is forced to tip. Blocked.
Good block.
Handled by Polfus to Stone. Pipe shot. Yes, LePan.
Still
but
in play.
It's dug up. Great play by Steve Stone. Dandoria with the dig. Back row. Yes, it hits. Dan Merwitt.
Well, this is exactly how we thought the game would be. Close, exciting.
Substitution. Setter Jean-Marc LePan comes out, and fifth-year veteran Josh Lynch comes in, and I think that's for his tougher serve. We'll see. Coach Lynch has made the right decision here.
Oh, Josh.
Long. Substitution on the Niagara side. Nathan Snip. Dig. Number 15, 6'8", right side hitter comes in for Brett Polfus, and that's to get more height for sure in the front row for the Knights.
St. Anne's, Ontario, I believe, over towards Niagara.
Oh,
we got it.
He got it. Jason Hernandez with a great fix of a very difficult set. 23-23.
Got Connor West up in the front there,
It's
too.
a 2-point game the rest of the
him.
way now, Neil. Block. Connor West.
Oh. Straight down.
Couldn't have come at a better moment for the Saints.
That hit almost 3 meters in front of the attack
And
line.
timeout Niagara as the players look to the bench. A little bit of confusion there.
Notice the Niagara coach, when they were up 1, had a big smile on his face a while back. A little more serious right now.
Well, the Saints, again, it's all about controlling emotion tonight. It's an electric atmosphere. And you can see the Knights obviously talking about what are they going to do here with this first pass. This is so critical. Saints obviously talking about where they're going to set up their blocking patterns. Quick timeout. The Knights come back. 24-23 Saints, and they have the serve.
Looks like they have a play drawn up for this attack. And like you said,
wouldn't be too surprised to see it come right back here to the right side to Jeff Scott. He's generally their go-to guy, but there are a lot of options up there for setter Steve Sohn. Aaron Vanderloot he's exhibited a veteran presence here tonight, the middle hitter, 5th year. And Nathan Snip at 6'8", it just come in. He's lining up over there on the left side.
Aaron seems to be pacing. He's nervous. I think he's getting the ball. Let's see.
Number 14, Manik Jandoria, back to serve. Big moment.
Get it over.
And he does. The
Little
float.
floater.
Good pass by Cole Jordan. Out to Snip. It's dug up by by Josh Lynch. Snip off the block. And how is that for courage? Nathan Snip comes off the bench, completely cold, and they go to him twice on one of the most critical points of the game.
Well, you know what? If I'm Coach Lynch, I don't put anybody on him.
Hernandez off the block. 25-24. The crowd delayed reaction there. They didn't realize there was a touch on that hit.
You know, we have some of the best seats in the house, and the play is moving so fast we can't pick up those
Peter
touches.
Christian, great serve. It's going to fall. And the Saints squeak out a 26-24 first set victory here. The crowd erupts.
That was big. That was big.
Huge start for the Saints. That should help alleviate some of the butterflies in the stomach, Neil.
Oh, it sure does. You know you can beat them now. You're on your own court. You've got the best coach in the league. Just walked by here, and he heard me say it. That's why I had to do that. They've got a light step as they move to their side of the...
Well, the crowd erupted, pandemonium here, when that shank off the serve, and now we're going to send it over to Dominic on the sidelines for an interview. Take it away, Dom.
Set number 1 in the books here. The atmosphere absolutely electric. Of course, the Saints prevail in set number 1, 26-24. Coach Chris Brecka. A very competitive set for sure, but just the same, I was surprised at the unforced errors and some of the serving. Is that tension?
Well, you know what? I have to say at this level, I mean, they played such a solid set. Both teams really strong. The serving, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what was going on there. Maybe there's an air current. I don't know. It's odd at this level. Unfortunate too, because it's happening on both sides, kind of even, I guess.
Well, it certainly did even itself out, and I guess maybe contributed to the St. Clair victory in the set in the long run. How do you correct that at this point, and in this type of atmosphere? How tough will that be?
Well, you know what I mean. The serve is all about you, and it's a mental preparation. I know this crowd has got to be getting into that Niagara, head a little bit. But again, it's you and the ball. You get back there, you got to zone everything out. You got to do your job, get it done.
The Saints got down early in that set, Chris. They fought back, though, got themselves a lead. I thought there were 2 clutch kills in that set. You can disagree with me. I'm not the volleyball expert like you are, but Connor Brown, I thought, had 2 clutch kills.
Yep, Connor West. Yep.
Or Connor West, I mean.
Yep, and I mean, clearly we heard the roar after. Definitely picked their squad up, but yeah, they were trailing and they fought hard, showing some real composure. I mean, it was a great win for them.
All right, good stuff. We'll check in with you in a couple of sets. That's Chris Brecka helping us out here. We're going to go back over to our play-by-play team. Set number 2 is set to go. Dave Austin and Neil McTavish with the call. You're watching OCAA Volleyball on WeTV.
Well, Coach Brecka was talking about air currents in this gym, Neil. I would suggest it might be from all the butterflies that are in the player's stomach.
They're going to open up it as a butterfly museum tomorrow. That's when the old men come to play in the morning.
Yes.
Wonder what those things are on the floor. Jason Hernandez in that first match there with 5 kills. But also when we're taking a look at 6 digs. So not only a great offensive round, but also playing some good defense.
Jean-Marc Lepin starts the game for the Saints, serving. Number 7, Jeff Scott, and he gets untracked early with a good cross-court hit out of the right side. 1-0 Knights. Welcome everybody who's tuning in tonight to this exciting OCAA action on WeTV. We hope you're enjoying it as much as we are. Great pass by Josh Rankin.
You know, Dave, if we didn't have these noise-canceling headphones on, I don't think we'd be able to hear ourselves. The noise is
it is loud.
Something that I haven't seen in
wow,
volleyball.
Manik Jandoria. What an athletic move onto the ball there from the right side. Young player out of Holy Names High School here in Windsor. His second year, played for fine Long-time volleyball coach for many years at Holy Names, Mark Wozlik. I'm sure he's here in the crowd tonight too. Miscommunication on the part of the Saints defense. I think Josh Rankin was anticipating that ball going somewhere else, and he vacated the position. Vanek Jandoria didn't cover for him.
Yeah, that back set wasn't that difficult to pick up, if you and I can see it.
Nice
Here we
set,
go.
Connor West. Yes, you can see that coming. That set was perfectly placed by Jean-Marc Lepin.
Well, we got cracks on both sides of the court now where Connor West has managed to put a hard one down.
St. Clair's going to have to resurface this floor.
Do you think this place is this place earthquake ready?
Wolfus hits that down. Jandoria picks it up over here to Hernandez.
Oh, just out. So I say you keep going between Connor West and Hernandez, and you've got quite a duo. You know, how do you set up your defense when those two guys are hitting like they are?
I think Hernandez thought there might have been a touch there, but no such luck.
Yeah, the touches happen so fast. Crowd making lots of noise
Connor
on
West
the serve.
with a rare bad pass off the serve. Over here to Cole Jordan, blocked. West puts it up high. Pipe shot, Jandoria into the middle of the net. A little too much aggression there. Neil, I'm not going to apologize for being a homer tonight. As you know, my son Jeff, very proud of him, assistant coach with the St. Clair Saints. Really proud of the job he's done with Coach Rob Lynch. He's feeling a little under the weather tonight, but he's here.
He's looking a little peaked.
He is, but I'm proud of him, love him, and I'm going to cheer for his team. Cole Jordan, smart hit down the line. They didn't go to him enough. They went to him early in the first set, Neil, but then they sort of abandoned that after a while, and we didn't hear much out of him in the second half of the match.
If you're successful with your hits, I think you have to keep going to that man until the other team starts to defense him.
Brett Polfus with the serve. Tough serve handled by Connor West. Hernandez off the block, as he has done so many times this year for the Saints. Jason Hernandez.
That was off the side of a Niagara player's head, I think. He hit it so
I think
hard.
it was Logan Varga that got the wake-up call there. Mishandled, but Bailey Cochran,
Big
the
save.
fine libero, second-team All-Star in OCAA, picks it up. Connor West, wow. Jean-Marc Lepin sticks out an arm, keeps it alive.
Yes.
Cole Jordan is blocked.
Another good play.
Logan Varga, that ball's still in play. Bailey Cochran chases it down again. What a fine play by the libero.
Went to the Niagara bench to pick that up.
And
Travis
Weigel makes them pay.
Kingsville, stand up and cheer.
Travis's father, Ron, and his mother, Kathy, both fine volleyball players in their own right, are here tonight. Very proud of Travis. He had some key plays down the stretch last night in that exciting win over Humber. The pipe shot up the middle, and Jeff Scott hits it to the middle of the net. He seems to be somewhat of a mercurial player, Neil. He seems to be hot and cold. He can be very, very good. At times, very, very bad.
There's a lot of stress on them right now.
Cole Jordan skies with the tip. Doesn't work. To Hernandez. There's the advantage of the high ceiling. Oh, and the joust at the net is won by the Knights. Weigel pushed back and down. Didn't see which Knight player did that. I think it was.
Not an exaggeration, but that
it was
pass.
Logan Varga, and good sportsmanship shown there on both sides of the net. Both players checking to make sure they're okay.
But that pass was 3 stories high, and that's not an exaggeration.
Connor West. Oh, great dig. Stone with the dig, anticipated by Hernandez. Jandoria, that's a better hit out of the pipe shot. A little more controlled. Scott off the block. The Niagara Knights need him to fire.
Lepin was up there, but couldn't get his hands turned, put it back down.
7-5. Cole Jordan to serve. First-year player out of London, Ontario. Pass by Josh Rankin, right on the dime. Bailey Cochran there again. Yes, that libero for the Niagara Knights has paid dividends in this run here. He has made some great picks.
Coach Lynch is starting to pace. Both teams still with both their timeouts.
Coach Lynch generally a very calming influence on the Saints sideline.
Big smile on his face when Niagara hit it out of bounds.
I don't think I've ever seen Coach Lynch happier than he was last night after that big win over Humber. And I think that was a huge monkey off his back, that streak of no medals, and finally breaking that string was a huge release to Rob. Huge relief. Roll shot's not going to work. Hernandez there with the dump. Oh, what a dig by Brett Polfus, but the block by the Saints. The Knights are very scrappy. They're picking up everything. They're just keeping the ball in play. Jandoria. Touch off the block. Yep, I thought I saw it. That ball had a crazy spin on it, didn't it, Neil?
Yeah, spin changed as made contact. Ball went out of bounds, but there was obviously a little bit of a touch.
8-7, Niagara Knights with Connor West back to serve. His parents here. I know that's really helped Connor's demeanor this week, seeing his parents from Lethbridge, Alberta. Jeff Scott picked up by Josh Rankin, starting to play really well. That's out. Hernandez with the back row attempt from the right side.
Another close one. We've got 4 linesmen on duty tonight, so there shouldn't be any misses.
No, and in this system, they're each responsible for one line and one line only, whether it be a sideline or an end line. Good pass by West.
Oh, pushed it off the antenna.
Little miscommunication. I don't think Jandoria was expecting. That was sort of a semi-shoot set. LePan is taking responsibility for that. See if the Saints can shake it off. Trailing 10-7. Logan Varga. Connor West again. Ably handles it. And wow. Travis Weigel. Travis is 4th year from Kingsville, Ontario. 6'4" middle hitter, and he has gotten stronger as this tournament has worn on. Good to see. Good serve. Handled. Cole Jordan up the middle. Good pass. Connor West.
Oh, there was a touch. Nope.
No touch. A little too exuberant with that hit, I think, Neil.
He saw it coming all the way.
Steve Stone. He's had a wonderful tournament. He's been player of the match twice for the Knights. The Windsor-Essex Catholic District School Board Player of the Game, presented by WeTV at the end of every match in this tournament.
From St. Catharines, Ontario.
Yes, and he's a well-spoken young man, very intelligent, very impressed with him. Brett Polfus tools the block. Long and out. The Saints are down 4. The Niagara Knights responding here in this second set. Timeout, Saints. And we are watching OCAA gold medal action on WeTV.
Manpower. That's our specialty. We use it to build infrastructure, like the $1 billion Parkway. That's real manpower in action. End to end, over 1,000 strong, forming bridges, carving out tunnels, shaping roadways. Our manpower is in demand. Well-trained, highly skilled, tough as nails. We've got what it takes to build your career. A solid career for building a better future. LiUNA. Feel the power.
Hi, I'm Ed Jovanovski. Watch us on WeTV. We got you covered.
Well, Niagara has a 12-8 lead. Coach Lynch just coming out of his timeout. Probably not happy with how things are going right now. Dave Austin, along with myself, Neil McTavish. Courtside.
Yep. Well, best seats in the house, isn't it, Neil?
Sure is. Right on the attack line.
Well, Coach Lynch might not be happy, but you never tell it by his demeanor, and it's one of the great things I love. I had the real privilege of coaching with Coach Lynch when our sons were both the same age, 12-year-old travel ball, and I really learned a lot from him about controlling emotion as a coach.
Now, Dave, if you learn to control that emotion as a player, you'll be in great shape.
Yeah, I guess I didn't learn the lesson fully, Neil. I'm a slow learner.
Great competitor, Dave.
Well, that was interference on the part of the Saints blockers as Steve Stone tried to make the set, called by the up official. Good pass by Connor West. The Saints' passing has improved, but they just haven't been able to convert. I think the Niagara defense has just been a little scrappier in this second set, and they are well deserving of a 4-point advantage. 13-9. Jean-Marc Lepin.
It's a nice hit, forcing the blockers to knock the ball out of the bounds.
Good tough serve, gets the overpass. Peter Christian plays it to Lepin. Nope. Hernandez didn't have anywhere to go with that one, unfortunately.
Double block.
That set was just a little too far wide and a little too low, and Lepin knows it. He'll shake it off, though. He's played wonderfully this tournament.
Aaron Vanderloot was over there with his 6-foot frame, putting a stop on that hit.
Jeff Scott serves it in the middle of the net. He continues to be a bit of an enigma, Neil.
I was watching how high he threw that ball up. I mean, he must have thrown the ball up 15 meters in the air, and I know it's great for that set, but of course we just returned the favor again.
Manik Jandoria misses wide down the near sideline.
This level, they can't afford to miss serves.
Not too many of them. That has been somewhat of the Saints' Achilles heel this year, too. There have been stretches during the season when they've had their serving issues. And my belief, I've seen many of their almost all of their home matches. It might have cost them a couple of wins here at home.
Peter Christian had a nice hit there.
Yep, he's got a very quick arm snap.
Yes, quick release and straight down.
Holfist, nope, no touch. I think the Saints players coerced the head official into calling that one.
Brett's only 6'1". And, you know, sitting here when all of these guys is tall, he looks really short, but he's not.
Nope, he's taller than both of us. Of course, we're in that stage of life where you're shrinking now.
I used to be 5'8" and 3/4. The 3/4 fell off my knees.
Oh, great dig, Manik Jandoria. Hernandez, yes.
Yes.
Wow, that could be a turning point for the Saints. The crowd erupts. They were in a bit of a lull there, Neil, and those types of plays can turn the match.
Yeah, they're not going away. All started with Christian's hit there, and now he's serving.
Good
nice
serve. Cole Jordan is blocked by Jason Hernandez. What a silly, silly, silly game volleyball can be sometimes. Timeout Knights. Sudden reversal of fortune. In the space of about 1 minute, the Saints are back to within a point.
They were down that dangerous 5-point number that I like to think is, you know, in control of the game. But, you know, Coach Lynch called that timeout. Obviously inspired his players, and they've played precision volleyball.
Well, a couple of digs in the back row, I think, keyed that rally, Neil. And you know me, I've said it many times, I think your defense always keys your play.
Absolutely. You turn around and see those guys in the back row are working. We better do something up front here. And if you don't, you get somebody yelling, hit that ball.
Saints cheerleading squad, as they do on many of these timeouts, entertaining this capacity crowd tonight. The crowd got into a little bit of a lull there, and I think that was keyed basically because the Saints weren't giving them much to cheer about for a stretch. You can see even over on the mezzanine side of this beautiful facility that this place is jam-packed. Many, many people sitting up in the VIP suite, which we got to take advantage of, Neil, before.
Yep. Some that shouldn't be sitting up there. We've got some names, but we won't release them.
We won't tell.
We
won't squeal on him.
Sit down. Is he taking any food? No, he's just doesn't dare get up to throw him out.
Cole Jordan comes out of the timeout and does exactly what Coach Grenville wanted. That's side out the Saints.
Now the Saints get a chance to mount an attack here.
Libero Josh Rankin slaps the floor as he comes in. Been playing great defense for the Saints down the stretch. And even one player of the match last night in that important win over Humber. Connor West, a rare shank. He's not happy with himself.
Yeah. Fans trying to distract the server with their, what are those things called? Clappers?
Thunder sticks, I think they call
Thunder
them.
sticks?
Thunder sticks.
Every building has a different name for them.
Brett Polf is back to serve, and the Knights are 3 points out in front again. Out.
Oh, way to leave that one.
Connor West almost took it, got a lot of help from his teammates, and pulled away at the last second. Not an easy thing to do.
Good communication. Probably somebody was calling it out, and he chose the right thing. Leave it alone, because if it is in, you blame the guy who said it was out.
Cole Jordan picked up. Logan Varga tries to tip, doesn't work. Steve Stone with the set, back to Jordan. Tip, Jason Hernandez right there. Pipe shot, covered.
Took a little bit off that this time.
Cole Jordan, go get it, boys. There it is. Free ball given up. Jeff Scott with the pass. Varga, Hernandez with the dig. Back to Jandoria. Boy, we got a rally going here. Jordan,
come on,
blocked and out. Good rally. Good play, entertaining play by both teams there.
3-point game.
The Saints were in a very similar position in the first set, Neil. We'll see if they can pull this one out of the fire again.
Each team with one timeout, substitution there.
Number 6, Ben Fillmore, 6'3", outside hitter out of Cayuga, Ontario.
Into serve.
Into serve, Cole
It's kind
Jordan.
of a tough position, to come in off the bench and have to serve right away.
Always difficult, especially in this type of atmosphere. But he makes it look easy, doesn't he?
Yeah.
There, Travis Weigel.
But you know what they say, Dave? If you're going to soft serve, you might as well go to Dairy Queen.
First
my wife
cliche
told
of the
me that
night
one.
from my color analyst, Neil McTavish.
I left my list at home.
Connor West with the serve. Good floater down the line. Big hit, Jeff Scott. Seems to be all or nothing with him tonight. But on many an occasion, he has silenced this crowd with hits just like that.
They're not letting St. Clair crawl back in. We'll see what
No,
happens
they're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. They're siding out on a regular basis. Substitution again for serving purposes. Number 5 for the Knights.
They're making sure they get those serves over.
Anik Jandoria. No, nobody home. Breakdown in the Saints defense there.
Can't have that.
Nobody anywhere in that back corner.
Coach Lynch is smiling. He saw something there.
That's a wry smile, though. Not a happy one. 2016 Knights. The better pass. Nope. Weigel is wide. Way wide. Wasn't even close. And substitution for the Saints. Keaton Revkovich, another Holy Names graduate in that fine volleyball program, comes in. His first appearance of the night. Keaton's a second-year player. Sure, the Saints are looking to him in the future, step up to a starting role. Coach Lynch looking to change the momentum. Oh, LePan. No, nobody came to help. Uncharacteristic of the Saints. Couple examples of miscommunication in the last few points, Neil.
It was a short serve. LePan picked it up, but nobody else was watching him. You got to keep your eye on the ball at all times. Yeah, that was an error there.
22-16, Niagara Knights with the serve. Good tough serve. Again, miscommunication.
That was an iffy set as well.
There's Jeff Scott again into the middle of the net. Wow. Hard to explain. He just can't seem to find his rhythm. It's looked spectacular at some points and very ordinary at others. In the serve for the Saints, number 1, Matt Campbell out of Windsor, Ontario, second year. Generally plays libero. Situational substitution here by Coach Lynch. Makes the serve down the middle, handled by the Knights. Scott responds. He's like a hot and cold water tap, Neil.
We got a 6-point game though, and doesn't matter hot or cold. Niagara's, oh, they got the falls. They're frozen right now, aren't they?
Well, the Saints are running out of time here quickly. They need to have a big, big run right now. And here's a tough server up against them. Wow, I jinxed them.
Should say that more often. Not out of this. 5 points down.
Well, the run's got to take place right here and now, though, Neil.
Yes. Oh, there's no doubt about it.
No more room for error.
They can't get to 24.
Can't let them get to 24, much less 25. The pan serves. Good pass. Adam Snip.
Left-handed, off the left side. A hard one to block.
Big 6'8" hitter.
They fed him a few times tonight. He's come through for them.
Yep, he's seen limited action, but when he hasn't made any mistakes. Roll shot by Hernandez, handled easily. And that's out. Cole Jordan trying to end this second set is wide. Saints serving at 19-24. Keaton Repkovitz. He's got a strong serve. We'll see if he goes for it. I don't think he has much choice now. We need some points in a hurry.
He's going for it.
Good serve, handled by the Knights, and that.
Oh boy.
That is down. No doubt in the head official's mind, and the Niagara Knights win the second set of this gold medal match by a score of 25-19.
Yeah, we're going at least four games tonight,
well, we're
Dave.
going to be here for a while, I think, Neil. And it doesn't surprise me, to tell you the truth. Two fine volleyball teams here.
Well, when you get to this point, you can't expect a blowout. I mean, neither team should have been that poor that they can't be super competitive, and they're showing it tonight.
Yep. Well, we're sending over to Dominic Papa at the end court. Take it away, Dom.
Thanks a lot, guys. A lot of special people in the building tonight. One of those special people is Wayne Fish. He's the senior convener of the OCAA Men's Volleyball Loop. And Wayne, thanks for doing this with us.
My pleasure.
Talk to me what you see here tonight. How gratifying is that for you to see something like this?
I think it's a wonderful atmosphere and event to have both these teams so competitive and have a full gym to play in front of. It doesn't happen very often in the OCAA. And it's a phenomenal building and been a phenomenal event to this point in time.
Now, you oversee this volleyball. Is this typical of OCAA volleyball? I mean, this might be a real hidden secret here.
Well, yeah, it is a bit hidden, at least from the eastern part of the province. In the west, we have 6 very competitive schools in men's volleyball. So at least in the western division, it's something that we know about and not many other people do, unfortunately.
So an event like this, when you choose a spot, obviously a venue comes into play, things like that. I'm going to ask you for an evaluation from the St. Clair College part of it. I'm going to be biased here. I think they've done a phenomenal job hosting, but you're one of those guys that makes that decision. How have they done?
Oh, they've done an excellent job, just an outstanding job. Probably the best championships I've seen in all my years of being involved in volleyball. The facility is just top-notch. The best I've ever seen, and all of the people to see literally everybody from your president on down helping with every little bit and detail of this whole organization and event. It's been a real special time for all of us.
Now you have one of the fun gigs with all of this. You get to give out the hardware at the end, don't you?
Well, yeah, I get to help with it, but I'm just going to be assisting because hopefully we'll be assisting your president and handing out all the proper hardware.
All right, good stuff. Well, we're glad you came to our city. Hopefully the rest of the way goes well for you, but make sure you come back and visit us again, okay?
Definitely I will. Thanks for having us, and we appreciate all of you've done.
All right, great stuff.
Thanks.
Wayne Fish, the senior convener of OCAA Men's Volleyball, doing a great job, obviously, and this is great stuff, folks. We're going to go back over to the table. Set number 3, ready to go. Here's Neil McTavish and Dave Austin.
Thanks again, Dom. Yes, I had the pleasant opportunity to talk to Wayne Fish earlier today, Neil, and I can reiterate, he's not lying in that interview. He's very much impressed by what has taken place here this weekend at St. Clair.
Yeah, it's a beautiful facility, and the staff has handled everything nicely. Looking at the last game, Jeff Scott for Niagara with 9 kills, also was there on picking up some digs. And Cole Jordan did very well, as evidenced by the final score. So we'll see if St. Clair can pick it up a notch. Obviously, I think both of us agree.
Oh, Bailey Cochran with a big pass there off a hard Jason Hernandez hit. A little bit of complaining that the cheerleaders were in the way, but the ball is considered out of play, I believe, anyways, Neil. The court only extends a certain distance to the sideline. Head official explaining that to Steve Stone. 1-0. I don't know if he's satisfied with the explanation, but.
Well, he's pretending not to be satisfied.
Cole Jordan, big dig by Josh Rankin, dies for that. Connor West, we need to hear more from him. Bailey Cochran is really playing some good defense for the Knights, as expected.
Connor West isn't at the top of the stats like he usually is. I think we'll see a little different.
Brett Polfus wipes it off the block, playing much larger than his 6'1" stature. Back to serve, Jeff Scott. Wow, Connor West not handling that well, and it results in a point for the Knights, and it's got to start with that first pass, Neil.
Yes. Yeah, Jason Hernandez is showing a little frustration there. I was looking at his face after that hit out of bounds. And you know what, it does start with the pass.
Well, we need Jason, though, to keep a level head here. He's a fifth-year senior. That serve is out. The whole bench for the Saints helping out with that call. Perfectly legal for players on the bench to make in or out calls. Number 18, Peter Christian, back to serve. Polfus, big hit.
It's excited, a left-handed hit.
Yep.
Coming off the right side. A tough one to defend.
Not easy for a 6'1" player to play the right side, Neil. It's usually the domain of a taller player. LePan with the set. Weigel, nice hit. That's all you got to do is find angles, Neil.
Well, Travis has got a nice little slap hit there. They're giving him a short set, and he's up there so fast and just puts it right down.
3-3. Hernandez with the serve, handled by Scott. Out to Cole Jordan, and that's a block by Travis Weigel. Fourth-year player out of Kingsville, showing some leadership.
Have you noticed the faces in the crowd? Whenever somebody makes a great play, they hold up this giant head of the person.
Yeah, I wonder where they got those done. Polfus with the block.
4-4 game. I think both teams have calmed down now. And you know, when you're out there playing, as much noise as this crowd is making, you really don't hear them. You're so focused on the game.
Yeah, eventually you're forced to focus, aren't you?
Yep.
Good pass by Connor West. The dump by LePan is read by Polfus. Oh, little miscommunication, and that costs the Knights. Right there, they're not happy about that. Coach Grenville hops off the bench, gives them the talk to each other sign. Using sign language there.
What sign is that for talk to each other? Oh, the yap yap sign.
That one right there.
Okay.
Our viewers probably can't see that as they focus in on Connor West.
We'll have the cameraman get you.
Oh,
good try.
Off the top of the net, Logan Varga uses a little bit of cheese there, Neil. Scores a point. Coach Grenville getting more active. He's an interesting character, isn't he, Neil?
Yeah, he's got, I'm not gonna talk about him. He's too close to us. He might hear me.
Pass by West. That's long.
No touch.
No touch. Weigel celebrated as if he anticipated a touch, but.
Well, he hit it in such a way that it could easily get touched, but too high.
West handles that tough serve. Manic Jandoria, but there's Cole Jordan on the back line, and Polfus has suddenly caught fire. The diminutive 6'1" right side hitter from the Knights has stepped to the forefront. Brett Polfus.
He has some monster hits. He's coming off that left side, or excuse me, the right side.
Right side. Cole Jordan along with that serve. 6 serving 7. Saints trail the Knights by 1.
I think this is where St. Clair has to show that they really want to win it.
Weigel to serve.
Nice,
Good
nice
serve.
knuckle
Handled
ball.
though by Bailey Cochran like a pro.
Good block.
Jandoria with the block. There's Scott. Touch. No argument from the Saints. Official Mark Eckert down on the back line. Gives the touch signal. 8-6. Logan Varga, 6'4" out of Brantford, Ontario, his 3rd year with the Knights. Out. I called that one before it came down. I'm sorry, Neil, I anticipated that.
It's 3 meters over the net when it goes across. I think the law of physics
call, eh?
or mathematics.
Jean-Marc Lepin to serve. Whoa. Great pickup by Brett Polfus. He's really playing well.
He is. He is the most consistent player on that team. Block out of bounds.
For a second there, looked like the Knights thought that they might have gotten away with that block.
Had to be close because the players weren't really sure what the call was going to be.
8-8. Lepin to serve again. The setter for the Saints out of Maidstone, Ontario.
Maidstone, just a couple minutes out of Windsor.
You can look it up on Google Earth. Although I don't even know if Maidstone would be listed as an official community anymore. I think it's part of the Corporation of Essex, is it not?
Yes, it is. But I could go to my handy-dandy phone here and find out. But
Steve Stone, off the net, picked up by Josh Rankin. Wow, Peter Christian wailed at that one.
That might be the hardest hit we've seen tonight.
Manic Jandoria follows it up.
Manic Jandoria just won that award.
And that brings the crowd to its feet.
Ties the game.
9-9. Well, the Saints have sort of been floating between mediocrity and more mediocrity, and I think they need something to get moving here.
Yeah, this isn't the best that we've seen them play.
Cole Jordan, back row, read by the Saints. Hernandez. Jeff Scott knew it, wiped it off the block of Connor West, hit the antenna and out. And neither team can seem to seize some momentum here, Neil. Just keeps going back and forth.
We'll see how they do around point 15, because I think that's
and
when
to Connor
they have to
West,
do it.
and there's Bailey Cochran again. What a great dig by the libero.
Because St. Clair is getting the hits. There's one right there.
There's one he
they're calling it down.
Boy, Bailey Cochran has really been key, I think, to a lot of the rallies by the Knights. He just keeps digging up Saint hits.
Well, he was down on the ground. I was wondering whether it just hit his body and popped back up, but there must have been a little ground contact.
Holfus again. Saints have no answer for him.
No. Coming off that right side. They're just not getting over and getting the block, or he's cutting it too far to the right that they can't get that block up against him.
Pass. Hernandez, no. Middle of the net.
This is the man that has to pick it up a notch. I'm sure he's trying. He seems a little frustrated. Shake it off. Point's done. Let's go on to the next one.
12-10. Knights. First time in a while a team has been out in front by 2 points. Connor West gets to that tough serve. Back row attack. No. Poor choice there. Tried to put too much behind it.
They're having a little
Coach
talk.
Lynch, yeah.
Timeout.
I felt the same thing. Timeout, because this has been a tight match all the way. So you are watching OCAA volleyball action on we-tv.ca.
New products or services to your brochure? Updating those drab business cards? Or looking to create a striking window display? In need of some screen-printed signs for that construction site or promotional campaign? Posters, vehicle wraps, and a whole lot more. At Angel Star Digital, our expert design and production team are ready to meet all your promotional needs. For samples of our work, check out our website at www.angelstardigital.com, or you can call us at 519-969-0712. That's 519-969-0712.
Well, here we are back at the St. Clair College Sportsplex, where in the sudden turn of events in the last couple of minutes, the Niagara Knights have jumped to a 3-point advantage in what was a nip-and-tuck affair. Neil?
Yeah, they just seemed to back off there for a few minutes, and you can't afford to do that. We're tied 1-1 in games. You need to take this number 2 game.
Well, it is a big set. The third set in these types of matches is often a very critical one. Niagara looking to put the Saints on the ropes. That's mishandled again. The Saints not passing well off the serve, and that's a recipe for disaster.
There's disaster. Was there a touch?
Holfus, they're looking for the touch. They don't get it.
Coach is up.
Little wave to the head official. One of those I'm sorry waves, I think. Good dig by Scott. Cole Jordan right into the chest of Connor West.
He picked that up nicely.
Nope. Hernandez seems a little bit out of sorts. That's not a good sign for the Saints.
Yeah, that's a shot he should be making given his stature on the team.
He looks a little tired to me, Neil. What do you think?
Yeah, tired, or he's not shaking off his previous hit. He's got to take a deep breath.
Down, Travis Wago with the smart dump. Setter Steve Sohn looks to his coach for advice.
Very timely, Travis.
14-12, Connor West to serve for the Saints. Saints trail by 2. This very critical third set, this gold medal match. Cole Jordan off the block. Hernandez is unable to make the dig.
As I said earlier, they're getting the blocks up there, but the deflections are either dropping in or going out. You know, they're not getting a good solid hands together, knock it down.
15-12. That's blocked by Logan Varga. He smiles as he comes back to greet his teammates. 16-12. The Knights edge a little further away. Not good news for the Saints. (17-12).
Looking for a touch again. It didn't happen.
Well, Coach Lynch, I expected that move. Number 12, Curtis Locke, who came in last night and gave the Saints a real lift in the match against Humber. Fifth-year player out of Bell River, Ontario. He comes in for Manik Jandoria, and we'll see if this rights the Saints ship. Down, Travis Weigel.
Travis has been a bright spot.
Bailey Cochran, the 6'1" libero out of Barrie, stretched as far as he could for that one, just couldn't reach it with the pancake attempt. Travis Weigel, tough serve. Boy, Steve Stone, he's putting up perfect sets right now. You and I could hit the Neil, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure we could volley him over to the back row.
Number 5.
5-point difference.
Dan Merwich in Brampton, Ontario.
I need an answer right here.
And quickly, Curtis Locke blocked. LePan with the dig. Holfus is right there. That's on the net.
They raked the tape.
19-13. Saints in big trouble in this set.
Yeah, 6 points at this point in the match isn't a good thing.
Serve into the middle of the net.
Well,
the crowd erupts, and you know what? They're trying to give this team a lift. The volleyball has been very spotty since the first set. on the part of the Saints. They haven't really seemed to be in rhythm. Jean-Marc Lepin back to serve. Bailey Cochran makes the pass. Scott, right on the line. Bullet shot.
It's just a single blocker up there against him.
That was a wonderful set again by Steve Sohn.
Yeah, they're catching him.
Lepin out. Josh Lynch in. Coach Rob Lynch trying to find desperately some sort of combination that works here. Steve Sohn to serve. Good hard serve, handled by Josh Rankin. Curtis Locke out. Coach Grunwald hops off the bench. He anticipates a victory here for the Knights. He's much more animated now. Tough server on the back line. Steve Sohn, he's been one of the stellar players in this tournament, and I jinxed him again.
Keep it up, Dave.
15 serving 21. Now is the time for the Saints. Crowd knows it too.
Niagara missing the serves doesn't help if St. Clair can't mount some kind of attack here.
Curtis Locke with the floater, handled by Cochran.
It's out.
Out. Adam Snippy snuck into the game there without us seeing it, Neil. Seems to come in late every match.
He's a very quiet guy. Tiptoes.
Tiptoes in. We shouldn't be able to miss that large 6'8" body. Good serve by Locke again, handled by Cole Jordan. Wow, good dig there by
There we go.
Josh Lynch. That falls in the middle of the Saints defense.
Big hit followed with a roll.
Smart hit by Aaron Vanderloot. Fifth-year play right there by a fifth-year player. Jeff Scott serves. Locke. Hernandez. Dug by Lynch. Connor West with the roll shot. Snippy. Wow, that looked ugly, but it worked.
St. Clair doesn't have an answer for them right now, whether it's the hard spike, the tip, the rolls. They don't seem to be in the right position at the right time.
Timeout, Saints. Somewhat of a desperation timeout, I think, Neil, with the Saints trailing by 7. And we're watching OCAA volleyball on WeTV.
1 out of 7 children across Canada are at risk of going to school on an empty stomach. That's why Breakfast Club of Canada provides a healthy breakfast to school kids nationwide every day, which can help to build a bright future for Canada's children. But there are still many more children who need our help. So please help us provide breakfast to the children who need it. Donate now on our new giving platform, ICanGoWithout.com, and visit breakfastclubcanada.org for more information.
Hi, I'm Ed Jovanovski. Watch us on WeTV. We got you covered.
Well, desperate times call for desperate measures here, Neil, for the Saints. Coach Rob Lynch trying a number of tactics to see if he can get this team on track. We are at 1 set apiece.
Josh Lynch is in.
Yeah, Josh Lynch came in earlier. He's brought in Josh Lynch. He's brought in Curtis Locke. He has tried a number of different combinations. Nothing seems to be working at this point, though, for the Saints. There's the block. Kind of a half-hit roll by Connor West on a low set. It's now 24-16, and this one's getting away real quickly.
Connor West has been playing well, but he's not getting the opportunities that we've seen him in the past, like right there.
Dug again.
Oh, goodness.
What a great play by the Knights defense. Wow,
There we go. That's the man. That's the hit.
If Jason can carry that type of enthusiasm into the next set, we might be going 5. But I think it's too little too late in this case. Down 7. Set point for the Knights.
It's not too late to build on some momentum, but there it is.
Aaron Vanderloot, calmly down the middle. Back middle set, and it's 25-17. Third set victory for the Niagara Knights, and they are one set away from a gold medal.
Just think they're 2 sets away from a silver.
Interesting stat tonight, Neil. Neither of these programs has ever won a medal at the OCAA championships.
Well, they're both going to break that record tonight.
They're both going to break it tonight. That's for sure. Okay, over to Dom.
Well, the Niagara team certainly has stormed back, taking the last 2 sets. They are now looking at a gold medal. They're 1 set away, Chris. What's changed since the first set?
Well, it seems like our St. Clair boys have run out of a little bit of gas here. They aren't putting the things together that they need to, and then when the opportunity is there, they're not capitalizing on it, making some unforced errors. Getting a little jittery, it looks like. This is perfect time for them to recompose and get their game face back on, come out and fight.
Niagara did one major thing here, Chris, aside from winning those 2 sets. They've taken this crowd out of the game a little bit.
A little bit.
And you mentioned before we came on here, St. Clair needs a couple of key plays to get them back into it.
This is absolutely a game of momentum, and when you've got a crowd like this, they want to have some pleasure, right? They want to show their support, but you got to give them something to support, so they got to come out and do something.
Coach Lynch, you know him so very well, being that you two talk a lot of volleyball. Do you anticipate him trying some different things at this point? Is it time to kind of pull out all the stops here?
Well, you know what? He does have a lot of variety. It's certainly something that he can look to. But you know what? He wants his guys just to get back in the game, get their game face on.
Niagara, obviously, we just mentioned 1 set away from a gold medal. How does the coach there keep the guys grounded, focused, and more importantly, keep this crowd out of it, because you know they're going to come back here?
Well, I think he's got to get them to key on their serves, because the serving has been atrocious. At this level, and the guys playing, that's an offensive weapon, but their float serves are going out the back. It doesn't seem that offensive. So.
All right, well, we'll see what happens here. Set number 4 is ready to go. Let's go back over to the play-by-play team. Neil McTavish and Dave Austin with the call.
Yeah, Neil, I just want to apologize to some Niagara Knights fans who may be watching here tonight. I stated that both programs have never won a medal. I was looking at the wrong sheet of paper. I apologize. The Niagara Knights have actually won 5 OCAA medals, 3 golds, 2 silvers. But their last one was 2004. So they've had a dry stretch of 11 years, and I'm sure they're very happy that they're guaranteed a medal tonight. And at this point in time, they're on the verge of winning gold.
They're in the driver's seat, Dave, and we know there's a couple of things we have to see from the St. Clair Saints. Of course, out of bounds by Niagara helps, but we need to see Jay and Mr. Wells light it up. They're capable of doing it. We need to get those blocks up, shut that ball down.
1-0 lead for the Saints. There's that little Brett Pulfus. He's been a thorn in the side of the Saints all night. Another good cross-court hit. Doesn't matter where he's hitting from. The Knights are on quite a roll, actually, Neil. Counting the matches in this tournament, they have won 10 of their last 11 matches, and the only loss in that stretch was to a very good Mohawk squad at Mohawk, and that went 5 sets before they were defeated. So they've been playing some good volleyball. That's since January 11th.
Yeah.
Well, the Saints answer, Peter Christian, and it's 2-2.
Sounds like Niagara peaked at the right time of the season. You have to wonder, too, with St. Clair playing such an emotional game last night, whether you can get up to that level again 2 nights in a row.
Well, they're going to be forced to now, Neil, or it's going to be silver. Up the middle again, and it looks like the Saints have decided that they're going to make inroads in this match. It's going to be through their middle attack.
Yep, Peter Christian. Haven't been calling his name that much, but he's been a force up there.
3-2 Saints. Manic Jandoria back to serve. Coach Lynch going back to Manic in this 4th game. Stays with Josh Lynch at setter. Came in last set for Jean-Marc Lepin. That was not a very good set, though. Josh knows it. Fifth-year veteran. Says to Jason, my fault.
He has to keep him out a little further from the net. He jammed him right on the net with that one.
3 serving 3. Connor West, great pass. Back to him.
They blocked him twice in a row.
Yeah, he needs to get untracked as well.
But they return the favor. Just gets the fans back in the game.
Big block over there on the left side of the defense. Finally, we do something about Brett Polfus.
Well, they're watching him now. 6'1", still hits the ball like 7'2". Can't hit the net.
Peter Christian misses the serve, 4-4.
You just cannot do that.
Brett Polfus back to serve. He's done it all tonight. He's been an offensive weapon. He's played well on defense. He's come to play on the big stage. Not handled by Travis Weigel. Bad pass started it all, yep. Jason Hernandez shaking his head to discuss. He needs to get his head in the game here.
Yeah, he seems to have been a little unsettled throughout these matches. Nice pass there.
That middle hit is picked up by Polfus, playing both ends of the floor. Front line, back line, he's doing it all. Back to the middle again. And I don't know if it's just me, Neil, but the Saints are pounding the middle right now.
Yes, they've used Christian, now they're using Travis Weigel.
And I think what they're going to try to do is spread that Niagara block out. That middle hit is consistently there. There you go, big block by Travis Weigel. That middle hit starts to work. The outside hitters start looking at a lot more single blocks. He'll freeze that middle block. 6-5, Jason Hernandez. In, great hit.
Down the line, right to the back of the court.
Mr. Cole Jordan, playing like a veteran. We've said it a couple times tonight. First-year player out of London, Ontario. He heads back to serve with the score knotted at 6-6. Well, the little things aren't happening for the Saints tonight. Neil and Josh Rankin just not passing spot on like he was last night. Trying to exhort Jason Hernandez. There's a better pass. Outside. Off the block and out.
There's another one that looked like it went off the defender's head.
Those are really difficult calls for the head official to make. They happen right in front of them at such a fast pace, they're hard to call.
And the down referee isn't allowed to call them, supposedly.
Connor West, good serve, but Bailey Cochran steps in, makes the pass. Jeff Scott, that's saved by the Saints. Pass by Jandoria, out back to him. Blocked.
That's what St. Clair needs to keep doing. They need to make those stops. They haven't been doing it.
Poor decision there by Josh Lynch.
Still close, but you can't blow them out of bounds like that and expect to win a game.
Very, very touchy point in the match here right now. Logan Varga back to serve for the Knights.
The fans recognize it too, making a little bit more noise.
Again, that pass isn't the best by Josh Rankin. Manik Jagdoria all the way over to pick up that dig. Connor West down the middle. It's dug by the Knights. They give up a free ball. They just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. Again, they scramble and give up another free ball. It's been the pattern throughout much of the match.
3 different hitters.
Again, the
4
block.
different hitters.
Saints doing all the attacking, and they finally get the break they needed. Logan Varga mishandles that roll hit by Manik Jandoria. Well, that's one of those sequences, Neil, that you just would have hated to see the Saints lose that point after they did all the attack initiation.
They
so to
had
speak.
4 attacks that probably in any other game could have resulted in a point.
Big hit, Jeff Scott. And what a great set that was by Steve Stone. He actually made such a great set, he drew the block to him before he fired it outside.
And they were late getting over to cover it, and as a result, excellent spike.
Steve Stone, the central figure in this offense. He distributes the ball, makes a great serve, puts the Saints immediately on their heels, and they have to give up a free ball to the Knights. Out. Big break for the Saints. The Knights had a free shot at that one.
Wow.
What happened there, Neil?
No, the Niagara Knights, it was down. They get it.
There's a better pass from Connor West.
Still the blocks are there.
Saints a little bit back on their heels. Roll shot.
This is about the same thing in the past games where Niagara seems to pour it on.
That ball is out wide on the near sideline. 10-9. It's a tight one.
Has to be.
Josh Lynch, the 5th-year setter, number 4 for the Saints, back to serve.
Focusing.
Gets it over the net, barely.
Turns out to be a good serve, but very close to not going over. That's out.
I don't know if it's just me, Neil, but Jason Hernandez looks a step slow tonight.
Yeah, he's just not, he's not in the game. And whether it's fatigue factor or it's, playing on his mind, the fact that he's not making the great hits or they're blocking him. I mean, there's a play right there. Niagara made an excellent block. Referee conferring with the captain right now.
Little too much celebration perhaps on the Knights' part, but can't really blame them. They can smell victory, Neil. Good pass by Jandoria. Hernandez, wide.
Yeah.
He's got to step up his game, and he must do it real fast. Rob Lynch knows it. Yep. Coach Lynch calls a timeout. 13-9, and as you said, Neil, the Knights putting their stamp on this match right now. We're going to commercial on WeTV.
I'm Joe Quenneville, coach of the Chicago Blackhawks and a proud graduate of FJ Brennan High. I can remember fondly my 5 great years at Brennan. It seems like just yesterday that we're there. A lot of great life lessons that I learned along the way, particularly from my teachers in the Catholic program. Want to wish everybody there good luck and look forward to being a proud graduate and being a proud Cardinal going on here in Chicago.
Here we are back at the St. Clair College Sportsplex. Griff was out there busting some moves during that timeout, Neil.
Well, they better get him in because he might not have a chance for during the 5th game.
Well, the Saints are going to have to recover, and they're going to have to recover quickly. They're down 13-9. They're down 2-1. They really, and honestly, although we'd love to see it, and the fans here would love to see it, they really honestly haven't shown any signs that they want to seize this game.
They're not the better team. There was a sign right there.
There we go. The middle attack seems to be working. Josh Lynch made a wonderful set there. Took that off the net.
1 point at a time. You got to focus on that.
10 serving 13. Manic Jandoria back to serve. Bailey Cochran, as he has most of the night for the Niagara Knights, picks up that serve and side out.
This has been all night. They're getting a hand on it. It gets either blocked out of bounds or trickles down on the ground. They just haven't had one of those nights.
Another Bad pass by Josh Rankin. He's not been on top of his game tonight. Big block there, Connor West. Now, it was one of his blocks last night that keyed the Saints in that all-important fourth game against Humber. Let's hope history repeats itself here.
That was Brett Pulfus again with the hit. They've taken him out the last couple times.
Really good serve, Peter Christian. Cole Jordan makes it look easy.
Yeah, you can't allow that. It's easy for us to say sitting here, but if they want to win the game, they've got to get over and pick those up.
Brett Pulfus, number 2. Back to serve for the Knights. He's had a wonderful evening so far. Connor West with the pass to Hernandez. He's blocked.
They've got his number. It's got to be frustrating because he's had some good swings at the ball, and his good swings get blocked all the time, and the other ones he blows out of bounds.
Well, 16-11. The Knights have that 5-point advantage we continually talk about, Neil. The Knights bench just erupted after that last block. They knew how big that was. Well, Neil, the middle attack continues to work, and I just keep using it and abusing it if I needed to.
Feed the monsters. Because Niagara seems to be doing a fantastic job of taking away all of the outside hits, but they're not doing it as well through the middle.
No, I think the Saints have discovered that's where their advantage is at the net. We'll see if that continues.
Good block,
Jordan,
they got over.
Block. Coming back to him. And
There's
through the
another
block that time, Cole Jordan.
The block was there, goes through and drops on the ground. They're in trouble.
17-12. Connor West back in. Rob Vandersloot out of Blenheim, Ontario, getting some action here briefly in the front row. Cole Jordan.
It's got to be hard on these young men. They know, everything's at stake.
Well, that was a fine save by Josh Lish. Very few setters could do what that young man just did.
Well, need to do it a few more times here.
13 serving 17. Saints need to make a run now. And unfortunately, I've been saying that too many times tonight, Neil. Big block. Dug well by the Knights. Again, Jason Hernandez, like a cat, comes up.
There it is.
There you go.
This time,
shot, Connor West.
This time they picked up the block and then managed to get the pass to Connor West.
Yeah, Jason, he came up and was all over that tip attempt by Cole Jordan. Sorry, that was Jeff Scott. Stone, middle. No, that's down. Saints read that. Here we go.
That was a triple block, Dave.
And that gets a timeout from the Niagara Knights. The Saints pull back to within 2. Down 17-15. Fourth set. Saints down 2-1. They, quite frankly, have not looked good in the last 2 sets, and for most of this set. And it's time to play Saints volleyball if they have any hope of capturing the gold in these 2015 championships, Neil.
These last few points have demonstrated what we've been hoping to see all night. And if they can play at that level, then maybe they can squeak out this one and take it to a game 5. So they're down 2 points right now. Both teams have 1 timeout remaining.
Look at Griff busting some moves again.
I like these sweat sweepers. I believe that's what is that what they're called? Sweat sweepers?
I'm going to get one for the house, I think, Neil.
Yeah, you try bringing it home. You don't need a sweat sweeper.
No. I would never rip off St. Clair College.
No. I mean, the response you might get when you get home. You mean I don't keep this house that clean? Come on, the pristine house doesn't need a sweat sweeper.
Here we go. 15 serving 17. Connor West at the back line, number 2. Important point in the match here for the Saints. They've seized the momentum. We'll see if they can continue out of this timeout to keep it. Well, miscommunication.
Oh, that's
and
out.
That is
That's out. They were lucky. They were very lucky.
I didn't know if Connor West didn't think he could get to it or he was just hoping that was going to get out, but
it is Sunday. I think he went to church this morning.
That looks like a play a lot of our senior men's volleyball players make. Nope, I can't get there, so let's hope.
Please, 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 please let it be out.
Good serve again. Bailey Cochran handles it, though. Out. Jeff Scott off the top of the tape.
No touch.
No touch.
And we got ourselves
17 serving 17, and substitution time now.
They're in a hurry.
The Knights. Number 6, Ben Fillmore comes in.
Knights coach is seeing something he doesn't like there.
Well, it could be that, or it could be just giving Cole Jordan a little bit of a rest before he gets back to the front row. I'm sure we'll see Cole when he returns to the front row rotation. He's been one of their offensive stars tonight.
St. Clair hoping he doesn't get back to the front
Tougher
row.
serve than usual from Connor West. Wow, the Saints are on a run.
See, Connor's got a nice picture of himself over there with a cowboy hat.
Cowboy Connor. Big sign from the stands. 18-17. Saints put their noses out front. Long run here.
Floats a little knuckler.
Jeff Scott ends that.
Well, you know they weren't going away.
Serving substitution again.
Take a deep breath, get your attack going, put another hard one down.
Coach Grenveld has done this a number of times tonight. He's brought in number 5, Dan Mirovitz, first-year player out of Brampton. And the young man has responded well. He's put in some tough serves for the Knights. There's another example. One. Jason Hernandez, not even close.
He's really tentative. I don't think it's a fatigue factor. He's tentative.
Well,
he wants to make sure it goes in.
there's a positive sign, though, Neil. First time in a long time I just saw him smile.
Well, that might do something.
He's got to have some fun. He's not. He hasn't been having fun to this point. There's been consternation written all over his face for most of the night, and good to see him at least smile there.
Oh.
No, that's not good. Connor West can't handle the serve, and Coach Grunfeld knows what he's doing. This young Dan Mirovitz out of Brampton has served the Saints tough. 2018. The Knights seized the momentum right back. We're now heading to commercial on we-tv.ca.
Bye.
Great. My car's blocked in.
I got this. I think the parking brake is on. Geez, what's in this thing? Rocks?
Well, a game of ebb and flow, shifts in momentum. The Saints down 5, ran off 6 in a row to get in front, but then Niagara responds with 3 in a row of their own.
Just when you thought that the Saints were going to mount some consistency, more than an attack, they needed consistency. We have 2 blown plays in the back there. And
well,
they weren't
we need
that
a good
tough.
pass right here. 2018, the crowd is loud, louder than I've heard them all night, really, Neil, trying to exhort their Saints. Mannix Andoria, big hit.
One at a time. That was set
up
nicely.
Erupts. Now this is the way the crowd needed to be tonight. And the Saints, quite frankly, didn't give them a lot to cheer about. So good to hear the crowd back into it. Hopefully the Saints players are back into it as well. Good serve, Travis Weigel. Boy, that floated.
Oh.
And a big block.
3 times in a row they've taken Brett Polfus out of it.
Here we go, Neil, 2020. 5-point game. Can the Saints pull it out? Weigel.
Nice serve.
Out.
Yeah, Dave, but you know, it's nice to see those balls go out, but don't be praying to see them go out because you got to make a play at that net. I mean, that's blockable. He basically had a wide open shot in the court.
That's a valid point, Neil. Another good serve by Travis Weigel. Out again to Scott.
Yep. Didn't miss it this time.
Nope, he only had one blocker up on him, and he made the Saints pay. 21-21. Travis Weigel again gives the Saints a boost from the serving line, just like he did last night against the Humber Hawks. That young man has come to the forefront in these key matches late in the season for the Saints. Good serve by Stone, handled by Rankin to Hernandez. Out.
Tried to pick the line. Out by just a few inches.
He's talking to himself.
Larger number of centimeters, I suppose.
We need him. We need him right now.
Yeah, he's looking up at the ceiling for guidance there. You can't be doing that. Just hit the ball.
Another good pass. Out again.
Saints don't have any more timeouts.
23-21 Knights. Are they on the verge? Coach Lynch
calming them down.
Tries to calm the team down. Need a side out right here. Steve Stone with some tough serves. Another good pass. Whoa, there we go.
We've seen that one from Peter Christian a few times. It's a perfect set. It's up high enough they can't get a block, and he hits the ball straight down.
I'm not in Josh Lynch's mind, Neil, but I'd be feeding nothing but the center here and see what happens.
No, we've been saying all along that the center is open.
Tip.
Okay, you're going to give him a free
ball. Have to
ball.
go outside to Hernandez, and there you go.
Notice Hernandez didn't try and hit that cross court this time. He cut it, took a little off, and they were all sitting waiting for the cross court, and he didn't give it to them.
Well, and he showed some emotion, some real emotion there after that hit. That got him off the schneid. Maybe he can get on a roll the rest of this match now. Get down. Long.
Oh, jeez.
Didn't miss by much,
no,
but it's long.
No, I was waiting for a flag.
No argument on the part of the Saints, and the fans don't react, so the call was correct.
Yes, I'm sure it was.
Advantage Knights, 24-23. Uh-oh.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
Can't do that.
They're going to have to block for the point. There it is. Yeah! Manic Jandoria. Wow, look at the crowd.
Just when you think it's game over, they gave them a little free ball, made the play on it.
24-24. Does it get any better than this?
Josh talking to Peter Christian there. I wonder if he's going to feed him the ball.
Jandoria with the serve, handled by the Knights. Cole Jordan, handled by Josh Rankin. Not ready, unfortunately.
Dear.
But Nathan Snip was ready. Yep. And the Saints pay the price.
He hasn't hit a lot tonight, but boy, has he had big hits.
Big hits
timely.
and big moments.
Yes, very timely.
Aaron Vanderloo back to serve. Advantage Niagara, 25-24. Match point.
Pandemonium.
Boy, it's loud in here.
Oh, I thought he was going to put it in the net.
Bad pass. Well, the Saints got to rely on defense again. And that's it. The Niagara Knights are 2015 OCAA gold medal champions as they defeat the home court St. Clair Saints 3-1. Fine effort by the Knights. They overcame a very boisterous crowd and a Saints team that, quite frankly, Neil, looked like they were a little bit out of gas tonight.
They never really got going, the excitement of the first game. And you know what? Although they won that first one, I didn't think they played that well.
Well, we got to give kudos, though, to Coach Lynch, his coaching staff and players, because we can never lose sight of the fact that they did win the first OCAA medal in the school's history in men's volleyball. And that long-anticipated banner can finally go up in the rafters now for the Saints volleyball team.
And you have to be proud of a silver medal. That says a lot. Both these teams will be going to the Nationals. Where are those being held, Dave?
In Prince Edward Island, and I believe they start on the Thursday a week from this Thursday. All right, we're going to send it over to Dominic Papa right now with the Niagara coach.
I need an MVP from St. Clair.
Well, we gave our player of the game to Paulus, number 8. I think it's Peter Christian. What do you think? Yeah.
Process all year, so it didn't matter. We knew we had to beat 3 quality teams to win a conference title, and we did that this weekend.
How much did that first victory against Mohawk really set the tone for your team and carry you?
It did a bunch. We were fired up for that match. We knew it was a good matchup for us. We knew that we played with them in 5 the previous time, so it was really good for us, and it kind of set the tone that we could play with anyone, so it was good.
So what did you say to your boys after the first set here?
We haven't won a first set here all weekend, so why change it now? History was pretty good to us, so it's one of those things where we knew that it was going to be really close. This was a fantastic environment, great crowd, so we knew we had to weather that storm a little bit. It was actually tighter than we anticipated it in the first.
So the boys were really composed, though. You kept them, level-headed, and they did the job for you?
Yeah, we've concentrated all year on process and tactics, so once your brain's overloaded with process and tactics, you can't do too much, so you don't get too high, you don't get too low, which has helped us all weekend.
Now it's the Canadians coach. How will you prepare for that? Will you give the boys a couple of days off and then start the prep work?
Yeah, our guys have reading week, so they're going to have a couple of days to kind of digest this one, celebrate this one. We don't want to sell this short. As a coaching staff, hopefully the seating committee releases it quick. We'll know and then we'll start our prep from there.
All right, Coach, go get some hardware. Congratulations on this.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Nathan Gronveld, the winning coach here for the Niagara Knights. We also have our player of the game. Come on in here. This is Brett Polfis. He's our Windsor Essex Catholic District School Board player of the game. Brett, congratulations.
Thank you.
First and foremost, how good does it feel to win this tournament?
Oh, it always feels great winning any tournament, but especially winning a provincial championship against a great opponent in St. Clair, too. They have a phenomenal facility here. Fans were great. It's a very fun match to play in.
You had all the tough hurdles thrown at you. First it was Mohawk, then you come in here tonight, a very hostile crowd, and you guys just managed to stick to the game plan. How good was your focus this weekend?
Well, yeah, everyone, we talked about it beforehand. Stick to the game plan, like you said, and yeah, everyone just comes in here focusing really hard and play a hard match. We knew they were going to come at us strong, so we just had to fight back, play a lot of defense, and get going.
And your thoughts on all the missed serves? What did you feel? Was that crowd interference?
A little bit, a lot of noise. You got a lot of air drafts going in there. Pushes the ball around a lot, but goes both ways, right? It's a great match.
All right, Brett, go enjoy this. Go get some hardware. That's our Windsor Essex Catholic District School Board player of the game. Pretty gutsy performance by Niagara, Chris. You have to give them a lot of credit.
Yep, they were very solid. I mean, like the coach said, level-headed. They got the job done. They came here to do the job, and they did it.
Where did you think St. Clair lost this game?
You know what? I think it was kind of midway in the third set. They seemed to, we mentioned they run out of gas a little bit. They showed some promise here in this last set, but they just didn't have enough to finish it off.
Okay. For your coach Lynch, what do you say to your guys here? He's still going to the Canadians. It's a win-win situation for him. He's a winner already.
Absolutely. I think, the guys have worked really hard this year, and he's put together a great squad. I think that the guys, they can look forward to the Nationals. They're going to start prepping now.
All right, good stuff. Well, that's the story. You've seen it right from the beginning here. It started on Friday, and it concludes here late Sunday night. 12 games of volleyball, plus we threw in a basketball game. A great weekend here of activity at the St. Clair College Sportsplex. Chris, couldn't have done this without you. Your expertise, your knowledge, very huge contribution to our broadcast. Thank you so much. Okay?
My pleasure.
All right, also got to give a shout out to Dave Austin, Neil McTavish, Steve Gomes, Shane Burney. All of those guys, our broadcast team, Sean Lippert. Without them, none of this is possible. Great volleyball knowledge, great enthusiasm, and certainly made our telecast so much better. The team behind the cameras, of course, the WeTV crew here, led by Christina Stoyovsky, Roger Faubert, Darren DiCarlo. There's so many others that know what they did here to make this a success. Becca Luden, Stuart Carter. I can name them all, but we don't have all night. So I got to just say thank you to all of them and making this a great weekend for WeTV. And certainly we want to thank St. Clair College for allowing us to be a part of this here this year. Hopefully we get to do more with them down the road, and certainly they've got a great thing going on here at the college, and you got to really come out and check it out. It's well worth it. So that's the story. The Niagara Knights take home the gold medal. St. Clair settles for a silver. They're off to the Nationals, and we'll follow them, and certainly check OE TV. We'll have more events coming up, and we'll try to do our best covering the scene in and around Windsor and Essex County. So on behalf of everybody here at WeTV, this is Dominic Papa saying good night, thank you, take care, and we'll see you all again very soon.